I'm not looking to be supplied. I'm looking to be the supply. I want a direct link.
We got common enemies.
Why kill both of us?
I think it's time I show my face. The king is back to take his crown.
So Unique made 2 moves in one evening. There was Andre at the end of 402, and then he followed up with Richard and Sonny at the beginning of 403. He definitely is turning up the heat, and Rock is definitely feeling a little uncomfortable because she has no idea who's hitting her operation, and she also doesn't want to make the wrong move. She's been sent in the direction of Tremon, which we are going to see in episode 404, but we all know he's still not the guy behind the hits. I think he definitely deserves to be taught a lesson for his betrayal in season 2, but she's definitely going to be in for a big shock when she actually realizes who it really is. I don't think the reveal will be in episode 4. I always do think they leave these sorts of reveals for the episode 5 mark. But Rock's looking to climb the ladder based on the trailer for episode 4. Instead of being the supplier, she's looking to be the supply. She wants to control the game, or as she normally likes to say, change the game. So we've got her in various meetings trying to make that happen. I think there are going to be a few hurdles, but let's see how she overcomes them, if she can overcome them. Because for the first time, I really don't feel confident Rock is going to come out as a major winner in season 4 by the time season 4 comes to an end. Especially because the king is back and he's definitely looking to take the crown. We've also got Kanan being mentored by Snaps and Pop, with Marvin potentially getting into more trouble once again. But we are going to get into all of these scenes from the trailer, along with a few more from previous teasers and trailers, which could potentially match up to episode 4. But let's take a look at the title and synopsis. Now the title of episode 4 is The Way We Were, and the synopsis reads: Unique forms an unlikely alliance in his vendetta against Rock, while Rock inches closer to a new drug enterprise. Kanan takes advice from Snaps and Pop. Meanwhile with Jukebox, her new friendship leads to a violent encounter. Now let's start with Rock and Marvin making a move on Tremon. In 403, after Unique's attack, not only was Rock looking for answers, but so was Quan. He wanted bodies and someone to answer for Richard and Sonny's death. But nobody knew anything. They came to see Joaquin at the Colombian restaurant, and he gave them Tremon's name as a potential suspect. He could have been someone who was moving into Rock's territory. So, we are going to see Marvin sneaking up on Tremon in 404, knocking him unconscious, and then bringing him wherever we are here. Tremon's going to get one hell of a beating, but neither of them are going to get any of the answers they're looking for, because it wasn't him. Now I do think Tremon's going to be taken off the chessboard, which I do think is a long time coming. He betrayed Rock way back in season 2, and they never really got back around to dealing with this disrespect. But if some of you are questioning what does this mean with Joaquin, could this come back and bite Rock in the future if she takes Tremon off the chessboard? Because this is one of Joaquin's primeras. Now this is the difference between Rock and Marvin. I think Rock would only get rid of him if she had the all okay from Joaquin. We know there's a lot of mutual respect between the two, and back in season 3, Rock only got rid of Juliana by getting the go-ahead from the main man. Whereas with Marvin, we all know what he did out in Corona was without Stefano say-so. There's a big difference between the two. So if Rock does pull the trigger, which I do expect her to in 404, then I don't think it's going to be an issue with Joaquin. I think she would have already probably cleared it with him. But this actually brings me over to Marvin making yet another move. Now I do have 2 different perspectives to this scene with Marvin. Is this another side mission for Stefano, or could Amber be in trouble, ringing Marvin for help because she's not having a good time with her foster parents? If it is another side mission for Stefano, then Marvin really hasn't learnt his lesson. The fact that Rock asked him and he lied, and if he's continued working on a few side missions for Stefano, when she finds out the truth, it's gonna be a big problem. I said in a previous breakdown, Marvin was becoming Mr. Dependable in season 3, but he is back to making a few mistakes again in season 4. He's kinda reverted back to his old ways where there's a lot of violence, a lot of blood, a lot of taking no shit from anyone, which I do think stems from the betrayal from Gerald. He said it in 402, fuck everyone. Now the other angle I have considered is Amber. He left her his phone number and did tell her to call him at any time. And if it is a second perspective, the same thing applies. Will it land Marvin in trouble? You do have to think at least one of these definitely will at some point. So maybe Marvin actually helping Amber could be to his own detriment. So that's just another side thought around this scene where Marvin will definitely be pulling the trigger. We've already seen in the season trailer he will be going down. It's just a question of, why is he here? And will this particular action have consequences? Could this be him helping Amber, and will it be to his own detriment?
I'm not looking to be supplied. I'm looking to be the supply. I want a direct link.
Now on Rock, she's looking sharp as she always does. But more so because she's going to be in a few business meetings in episode 4. She's looking to climb the ladder like she always is. She's someone who's never satisfied with where she is, and if we were to look at Rock, she isn't exactly the role model type, but her ambition, her drive, her determination, the way she's able to build things from the ground up and constantly overcome hurdles, now that's something I think we can definitely admire. All the other stuff, definitely a different conversation. So we've got Rock looking to be the supplier, not the supply. And I think she's going to have Stefano set up a few meetings to see if they can kind of make that happen. We've got her in a meeting with another crime family, and let's see how she fares. We know Rock can talk the talk, she can also walk the walk, but her operation is still being hit on all fronts, and she still doesn't know it was unique. Kanan's also about to make his own move with Snaps and Pop, which we are going to come to in just a moment. Marvin's making a few mistakes, and what about Quan? He's definitely a problem too, because I highly doubt he'll be happy his position is going to be taken by Rock. There's no way he goes quietly. So let's see how Rock manages to navigate all these kind of little hurdles, and if she is able to stay on top. Because circling back to the beginning of this breakdown, I really do think she is going to find it tough. Come the end of season 4, my money's actually on Unique taking over Southside, and Rock being somewhat on the back foot, but that's definitely a conversation we can have deeper we get into season 4.
We got common enemies.
Why kill both of us?
I think it's time I show my face. The king is back to take his crown.
Now on Unique, first we've got him telling Early Tyler it's about time he shows his face, because the king is back. They've also teased he is going to be making a unlikely alliance, and I think that could be a few different people. Maybe episode 4 is where we finally get our introduction to New Jersey's new crime boss, Phil Russo. If we do, this is a reminder of his character description.
You can't be dropping bodies.
I wanna look like I never left.
He's Jersey's new crime boss, accustomed to garnering respect, deference, and other men's fear. He suffers no fools and handles business negotiation with stoic confidence. Now we have seen him in a conversation with Unique in previous teasers and trailers, and if Unique wants to be back in, he's going to need a connect and some sort of backing. That could come in the form of an alliance with Phil Russo, but this person here, who Unique's in conversation with, could potentially be Damon, who left Rock's crew back in season 2. So this is just a very quick recap in terms of what happened with Damon back in season 2. Damon was supposed to get this spot out here in New Jersey. Rock told him that he was going to be in charge of his own operation. However, Sal Baselli wanted Unique to run this New Jersey operation. Now, being forced to bring Unique on board in her peace deal with Sal Baselli, this meant that Damon was pushed down the pecking order, and when he refused to be second in command to Unique, so soon after Rock gave him his promotion, he just walked out and left, and we haven't seen or heard from him since. This is the one person I could think of who could have a bone to pick with Rock, and potentially someone with added ammunition to now team up with Unique. We also know Unique needs a new crew. If he's talking to Early Tyler about coming out of the shadows, showing his face, he has to be strong enough with an army behind him. He's going to need to go to Phil Russo in a position of strength, because the last time he went to a business deal with Quan in season 3, Quan even mentioned he had no crew. The Italians painted the walls with his soldiers back in 210. So this time around, maybe with the help of Damon, who may know a few people who could back Unique, he might have his new crew. Now, if he is also showing his face maybe towards the closing stages, maybe we also see him getting his jewelry back on and him losing his all-black attire, because as he said in the trailer, the king is back. So we're going to see some kind of normality. We may also see him reaching out to Panessa in 404. Him not being able to be there for his family is definitely killing him inside. So I do think he will want to put that right as soon as possible. But let's talk all things Kanan, Snaps, and Pop.
You gotta understand, Kanan, that how people see you now is how they're gonna see you forever.
How you want people to see you, Kanan?
I want them to see me as me, not who my mother is.
Now, this is something we had in the official trailer that was released back in February. Since then, we knew it was only going to be a matter of time before Snaps and Pop took Kanan under their wing, start to mentor him and pull him further away from Rock. I think the events that we saw in 402 also gave Snaps a glimpse. Kanan is someone they could poach from Rock. He went and betrayed his business partner back in season 3, and his loyalty towards Rock is definitely questionable, which Snaps definitely picked up on pretty much straight away. They also know this is someone who is in the same mold as Raquel, and as Snap said in season 3, Rock is very good at this game. So why not take the Queen's Prince, the up-and-coming Pop turning into a wolf, who will actually take over Southside eventually. I think that's what they see in Kanan, a future leader. They have seen what he's done with his little weed operation. He then leveled up under Ronnie, and now he's moving weight for Rock. But just like I mentioned about Rock in terms of being very ambitious, so is Kanan Stark. Kanan wants to be his own man. He wants to run his own operation on his own terms. and that's when we're going to see him probably moving further away from Rock, and maybe working for Snaps and Pop. Snaps is also probably the person who's going to give him this connection to Stefano, because there is no other way Kanan would be able to get the info of who's above Rock, and so we can only assume Snaps is behind this, although I'm not entirely sure this will happen in 404, it probably is a bit later on. But they're definitely looking at Kanan and thinking they can make a lot of money from this kid. However, even though I'm pretty sure they are aware Kanan's loyalty knows no bounds, I think they need to watch their backs as well. Just like Joyce said, at the end of the day, Rock is still his mother, and if push comes to shove, would anybody be surprised if Kanan went and betrayed Snaps and Pop? I definitely wouldn't, but that's something I think they'll probably already be aware of, and so it is going to be a really interesting dynamic. Let's see how it all unfolds. But let's move on to the last section of the synopsis, where it teases Jukebox's new friend leads to a violent encounter. Now there is nothing to go by in the trailer for episode 4, but there are a few scenes I do think are worth mentioning that we've seen from previous teasers. Not 100% sure whether they are from episode 4, so definitely just keep that in mind. But we've got a couple of scenes where we do see Juke holding a piece, one where she's with Kanan in the basketball court, and the other one which was released way back in October 2024, where you can actually see the smoke coming from the gun. Jukebox definitely pulls the trigger, and I wonder if whatever happens with her new friends, will it lead to this moment or maybe this one? I did think whoever Juke got involved with in season 4 just sets her off once again, and even if we don't see this quite being set off in episode 4, I do think they are going to lay the foundation, which I do think they've already started in 403. But that's a breakdown of where we are with the trailer for Raising Kanan episode 404, along with a few extra scenes that do match up to episode 4. We've got Rock attempting to climb the ladder, but is this something she can sustain in the long term, especially with the ongoing attack from Unique, because I'm sure he'll be coming out of hiding pretty soon, and trying to take Southside for himself, and where will that leave Rock? That's the question I'm going to leave you with this one. Who do you guys see coming out as the winner at the end of season 4? Is it Unique, is it Rock, or is it someone else? Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.